Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unravelled, your companion show to the game of wool. Week 3. Good to see you, Lizzie. You're somewhere else by the looks of it.
I am, and I was just having a nice little dance to our theme tune there. It's nice and
It
comforting.
is, isn't
I'm
it?
on I'm on tour up in I've come up to Alnwick Castle up in Northumberland for some work. I'm doing some animation work with them, and so I'm staying in this lovely little B&B place.
Oh,
Actually,
lovely.
it's got one B, not the other B, so I've got to
Oh,
go down to Costa Coffee
you
for a
just
bit of breakfast.
you just got bed. Oh.
Yeah, it's a nice bed though. Um, but anyway, so viewers, let's take a look at Stuart's delicious frilly tank top.
Crocheted by moi. Absolutely.
Very, very nice. Is
Yeah.
that with your lavender and blue?
It is. I made it out of white cotton this summer, and then I dip dyed it into lavender and blue. You can see it getting
That's
a bit
very,
lighter and
very
lighter,
nice. Very nice.
and I love it. It was my Christmas cast on. Christmas just gone, and I finished it about March, April.
So it was a Christmas cast on, but you must have been feeling well. You're warm and toasty in your house today, but it's fresh up here. I don't know what the temperature's like with you, but
It was lovely here, but I did see a couple of friends on their Instagram that you got a bit of frost up there, and it dramatically dropped.
I came out from our meetings. I just had a little walk around. It was proper chilly. So I'm afraid, viewers, I've got my layers on, and I think everyone's seen this little tank top
Yes,
before.
yeah, we love
So
that one.
I'm not as frilly as Stuart today, everyone. Sorry.
Well, I thought I better show some crochet as there was lots of crochet. But hang
There
on, before
was.
before we get on anywhere with talking about this week, let's have a look at some comments, do some
Yes.
prizes, and then get into it. Okay,
Yes.
comments from week 2 was unbelievable. Sue says, "Thank you so much for Unravelled. Great episode and good to hear the extra information from the contestants on social media. Really love having knitting on mainstream television and especially love listening to your companion show afterwards." Isn't that nice? It's exactly what
That's
we
so
say.
lovely. Yeah, lovely, lovely. Thank you, Sue.
We then have Karen. Karen says, "I loved CNA in the 80s." Can you remember we were talking about that, weren't we?
Yes.
And got my school coat and bag from C&A. Dorothy Perkins too. Fab memories. In the 80s, my mum knitted me a white jumper with a plunging back, edged
Oh,
with knitted lace, with black ribbon threaded through. I love that
that is
jumper.
so
Oh,
80s. Sadly, no pics. Oh, yeah.
nice.
Lovely though.
Then we have a nice message here from Aughty Butterfly. One thing you didn't mention was that Holger made the dog mannequin. Good job, as I don't think they would have had anything to test out their garments on as they made them. Absolutely right. Can you remember the dog there? I
Oh,
I
yes,
didn't know that. I had to go back and watch, and it was a nice little snippet where he said
it
he'd
was.
made it to test out his practicing, and
Sorry,
that's
I
what they
think it's
used for the
that's what they
models.
use for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it was a brilliant idea, but I'm a bit confused. I think this is a testament to how frazzled my brain is today. I read that as mankini. So I was trying to think. I don't remember Olga
Oh,
making a
bro,
mankini for the dog.
swiftly moving on then.
Yeah, quick, move, move.
Thank you for this reaction show. I look forward to it as much as the main show. A skills
Oh,
edition sounds wonderful. I've been knitting about 40 years and only discovered last week that I purl back to front using a clockwise wrap rather than an anti-clockwise wrap.
oh gosh.
Isn't that amazing? Look at that.
That's really well. So this is a nice little link to the show that you did with Jimmy, because if people do want tips, you've covered so much ground with those shows. So go back and have a look back at
Oh,
those shows if people want more tips, I'd
thank,
say.
thanks for that plug. Jeez.
There's lots of great material there.
And
So
lastly, this is a lovely one. I'm trying to avoid all the other Game of Wool commentary other than your show, loving the
oh,
positivity in this corner. My husband, who's not a knitter, has really been enjoying watching Game of Wool together, as it gives him a visual reference for a lot of different types of knitting that I talk to him about all the time. It's really nice to have a more mainstream knitting show that we can watch together, as I'll be the first to admit that, as much as I love them, my knitting podcast would be deadly boring to someone who doesn't knit. So look at that. They're enjoying it together.
Great. We're doing our bit for relationships.
Talking about relationships, prizes for everyone. We've got another prize giveaway. Viewers, because it was obviously mohair. Katia, fabulous Katia. We've got mohair to give away. Look at these.
Ooh.
Can you see? It's part of their 50 shades of not grey, of mohair. And we've got packs of 5 to give away. Look.
Wow.
And this is
how much is on a roll, Stuart?
Oh, loads. We've got...
Is it just like lace weight?
It's lace weight. It's like your classic kid silk haze, but rather than mohair and silk, we've got mohair and a little bit of acrylic. It makes it much more affordable, because I think kid silk haze is nearly 12 quid a ball. Whereas this, we're going to give away 20 grams, and you've got 200 meters on a ball.
Amazing.
And you're going to get a whole pack of 5. And I'm going to treat 3 people. So we're going to quickly press the button and have 3 prizes to send out. We've got all the YouTube video, LinkedIn. We've got me and you being excluded. So here we go. Let's press go. 3 people. Whiz. First one will be Frugalisama. There we go. Her comment, or his comment, don't know. Oh, I think it's her. Great roundup. Thank you. Loving the series and inspired me to pick up my needles. Look at that.
Brilliant.
Let's have another winner. Number 2. Shannon. There we are. Oh, Shannon says on her comment was, I'm rooting for Holger.
Yes.
And one more. Let's have another one. 3 prizes to send out. And Hazel, look at that. Hazel says, I love the dog knitting and couldn't stop laughing at the dog faces. They had a look of disgust at times. So funny, but Holger is way the best.
Brilliant.
Isn't that
lovely.
Nice?
That's great then. So 3 lucky winners.
3 lucky winners. And next week, because obviously there was lots of crochet, we've got the special posh prizes to give away next week.
What's this?
This is a whole kit of crochet hooks. Look at that.
Needs to focus. Let it focus. There we go. Oh, that's a nice kit for somebody.
Isn't it?
There was a lot of crochet, wasn't there? It's a good, timely.
In a beautiful case. So
that's very smart.
So if you comment on this video this week, they will go into the draw, and I think we've got at least 5 to give away. These are worth about 40, 50 quid. So, Katia,
but I think,
didn't
they say next week's going to be crochet as well? Their episode next week.
Really?
I can't remember what they said they were going to do, but I'm sure they said there'd be more crochet. So maybe we can... But I just want to say to all the commenting, and thank you everybody who's commented. And I just ran out of time this week. I love normally going through comments and having a little chat with everyone, but sorry I didn't get round to it this week, but I will be on it next time.
It's all right. We read them though. It's just sometimes it's difficult to reply, isn't it? A bit of fun before we move on. I don't know whether you noticed this, Lizzie, but 1 minute you saw it, and then the next minute you didn't. This was quite amusing. Take a look at the wonderful badges that we get.
Yes.
Well, 1 minute it was there, and then the next minute it wasn't. Have a look at this. So they just sent off the judges, and he was about to go, you and you are together. You should get ready to look at Ailsa. Where's it gone?
Where's it gone? Continuity.
There it's back.
dodgy's gone on there.
The wonders of telly, hey? And you can clearly see they might have done that several times, but where would it have gone to?
Well, maybe it's gone out for a little graze with its lamb outside.
Right, who did we lose last week? We lost Dear
Oh,
Meadow, didn't we? There, on the right hand side, there, underneath the red tile. So there are our remaining 8 contestants.
at the start of this week's episode,
Yep,
this it did start. I mean, even with two people gone, it felt a bit sort of quieter, didn't
it
it?
did, didn't it? And the space suddenly looked a bit more open as they were sat on those
Mm,
settees. What have we got,
yeah,
Big Knitter, so far? Who are getting these badges? We've got Ailsa with week 1, and we've got Holger week 2. I'm guessing
yes,
they can win the badge again if they're good enough, can't they?
yes.
They could
They're
get a
good enough.
they could get a whole collection of badges.
Well, yes, they could. I guess it'll be like medals on
Yeah.
VE Day, won't it?
Okay, the first challenge, swimwear challenge for holiday week. We had a little teaser last week, so we knew there was some action to come. Let's explain what the task was for viewers. They wanted a striking and glamorous design, and they could use knit or crochet or both. They had to be close fitting garments, and they were working to measurements of the 3 Team GB members. Fit was going to be really, really important. They could do a one piece bikini or trunks. So there's the pictures there. And then they could do at the end our favourite word that they're using a lot.
I did think of you.
They could embellish it. They obviously wanted embellishments.
Hang on.
Go on.
AI alert. What's going on in that first picture? The legs
What I think they
and
would.
the boobs. Is that I can't work that out.
I think
What's
they.
happening?
I think they would. Apparently, they had to do it in the round, but I don't think so because some were clearly done flat and seamed at the sides. But during the graphics, they were drawing it in the round.
But are we that first picture? Are we looking at? I can't work out what. Are we looking at the back
No, I
or
think we're looking
maybe
at.
we're looking at the
Oh, we could be looking at the
because
back, but it's the chest is the blue, the waist and the hips is the red, and the legs and the Rudy bits, the nudie bits,
Rudy, the
are
family
the
allowance
pink.
bit.
Yeah. But if they chose trunks, they obviously were going to finish earlier, so they had to do extra. They had to either do a bag, a belt, or a vest. I mean, that's like way
That's a
more,
lot.
isn't it?
Yeah, a full vest is a lot.
Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's the task, and there are the
Wow.
finished results.
There are some impressive six packs there. I'm just going to say that off the bat.
Yeah, it was yeah, livened things up a bit. I put my knitting down.
Don't say nothing more.
Oh dear. It's
Crikey.
I'm guessing when you look at Stephanie, Tracy and Dipti, do you think like you did with the sewing bee, you must find patterns out there for made to measure to base your work around. I'm guessing they went and found a pattern, or are they completely drafted from nothing? That's a big skill to design and draft from
Yeah.
nothing if you're just a knitter that follows patterns, because they do
Well,
look
it is,
similar, don't they?
especially they do, but I'd say if it's like our made to measures, I think we had in the past, they were saying they do get time to work on their design ahead of the show and practice. I hope they found patterns, although there were a couple of those that I'm not quite sure what was going on in the little undercarriage area. It didn't, but I'm hoping they found patterns in order to get some measure of fitting around the butt cheeks. But yeah, it
Well,
was.
it's a tall ask. We were chatting about this, about the whole knitter versus designer, because I'm a knitter and
Yeah,
follow a pattern. There is no way I could design. I wouldn't know where to start. It's a huge skill, and as
yeah,
Lydia said halfway through, she goes, "Oh, it's the first time I've been designing things. I've gone from 0 to 100." But she's clearly excelled. But it is a very specific task, isn't it, to design
it
things?
really is. And I think that's where um, it coming down on having a design flair is all part of it. You know, it's not just who can follow a pattern. It's it's the creative inspiration you can bring to these projects. And um, I think so. Simon was talking about how he's not a very flashy sort of person. So you know, and so by contrast, Holger's sort of I don't know how to describe that, but it's like it's signposting.
Yes,
We
yeah.
say
For,
that there's a very conscious sort of approach to the design,
yeah.
or Ailsa's Harlequin. You know, it's quite different, but I think yeah, it's interesting looking across them. I'm surprised that there weren't more sort of fresh colours. It's because it seemed like an
Yes,
opportunity for a really colourful festival sort of feel, and
absolutely.
you
I'm
know what I mean?
I They build up the haberdashery on episode 1, and we've very rarely seen it, and we're on week 3 already. Where's that? Like, I know we shouldn't compare to Sewing Bee, but we do. Where's that rush to the haberdashery where they're looking at all the yarn? So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that didn't happen because they couldn't do it, or they were just given a selection of double knit or four ply
I just,
from the haberdashery,
yeah.
because they are all of a set range, really, aren't they? They're these blues, beiges, and it just seems
Well,
a certain palette, doesn't
although
it?
looking at Ailsa, Holger, and Isaac, they've and Isaac with his sparkly letters that he put on the bum. So they did have the option to use colour. Then Stephanie's bikini bottoms, they've got some colour in.
Yeah,
I'm just really, really surprised we haven't got any oranges.
yeah.
We haven't got any.
Bright yellow,
I mean,
zesty
you know, the
neons.
classic, yeah, the zesty Neil. That's what, if somebody said crochet swimwear, I mean, yes, I can see why they might have chosen to go for a more lacy effect. But I think, what do I think?
Oh,
I'm just,
no, I
when I think
agree.
about it, I just wonder if it's, you know, there's the zone for example, a crochet bra top that you might wear to a festival is full of colours. It's all
Yes, yeah,
rainbows.
yeah.
And it's, and talk, going back to the haberdashery, maybe, I don't know, maybe they're just so pushed for time, or maybe because with the bee we had for our made to measures, you get sent in advance, you have to pick your fabric, and so they buy it in for you. So maybe they've just sourced the yarn already, so there isn't really a plunging into the
I
haberdashery.
I get.
I don't,
I think you're right. I think there's something to do with the sponsors, DMC, Rowan. They're all the same company, Sirdar, Wool and the Gang. That on the
yeah,
email that comes out at 9 o'clock on the dot, DMC was saying it's these yarns, and Rowan's Summerlight DK. So maybe they just said, right, this is, like how they do on the Sewing Bee. They'll sometimes say you're not going to go to the haberdashery. They'll put you on this table and
yes,
say here's a
exactly,
selection. It might
yes,
have been that, because you're right.
yeah,
Where are those bright oranges and yellows? So unless they didn't have the haberdashery that well stocked. But
maybe not, but even just the splashes of blue or red or yeah,
well,
yeah,
considering the brief was a striking and glamorous design,
yeah.
doesn't glamour normally sing bright colours, or am I being a bit
Well,
stereotypical there?
I think so. A glamorous design you could say that a lacy, let me look at, so Tracy and
Shall we
Dipty.
look at them close up? Tracy?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's look at them close up. I'm going to put my spectacles on so I can see properly.
Tracy.
Yeah, you see, that is glamour. That's a very glam sort of design.
And the yarn had
Uh,
that sparkle in it, had that bit of,
that's
what's
yes, and
it?
then the little flower, and so yeah, I think that was
That's
it's
Tracy.
very it's yeah they they haven't taken any chances,
No,
have they? They've
no.
got the pants on underneath.
Let's look at Dipty because Dipty went straight for the sparkle. It's difficult to see because it's not
It's a
like a
bit
red
far away.
sparkle or a yellow sparkle. It's gold with
Yes.
beige, so that's hard. But there is a
But I can see that that's, the thing is, we're looking at really sort of sculpted athletes here. And if you're wanting glamour, the athlete's body, this is where it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because we get into the hot topic of uh body positivity
yeah.
and all shapes, sizes and things. And so one person's glamour might be someone else's nightmare. But I just this particular one, was it this one? There was one of them that I just thought, gosh, I wouldn't want to be doing the splits in public with athletes.
Oh, it might have been because the butt maybe area was it was more like a
It
thong,
was a
wasn't
bit
it?
exactly, yeah. But that's in, isn't it? This
Yeah.
the thong thing is really in.
And let's take a look
So
at Stephanie's because these we've looked at the three similar ones as in bikini. Let's
yes,
have a look at Stephanie's. Let's get rid of that and that. I thought Stephanie's, because there is an attempt at brighter colours with the blues, I thought
yes,
that was fun. And the
I
shaping
liked
on the
it.
bust area thought was stunning. Now, we've got to remember as well, Stephanie, oh, there's the butt. With a bit of sparkle with the sea foams. Where's the close up
Oh,
of the yeah, there's that crochet. Now
it's very nicely done.
this is coming from someone who said crochet is not her thing. I'm going to take a gamble and not knit. I'm going to use crochet. I mean, that's incredibly
Which
brave
is done ever so well.
when you're on a game show, don't you think?
But this was crochet, or could they
They
knit? Oh no, they could knit
they
it.
could knit, and she decided to dump the skill that she's been doing for years and years and years
Good.
to suddenly
Bless
do
her.
crochet, which I
It was
found
beautifully
fascinating. That was
done.
incredibly brave,
Yeah.
and I think that was overlooked in. Well, we didn't hear it in the judging; it may have been edited out, but. I would have thought there could have been some note being said. It was incredibly brave of you to have changed from your normal skill to go to something that you perhaps haven't done before. But when you, if I did that and I haven't been crocheting long, I'd be well chuffed.
Oh, I would be too. Yeah, definitely. And the little frilly edge.
Yeah,
I just wish that she'd have been able to carry the shaping prowess through to the
the
bikini
yeah
bottoms on that, and that would have been amazing.
yeah. Let's go to look at Lydia's close up because that was a fully knitted swimsuit, and
Yeah,
it did make me gasp at how amazing it was, considering.
beautifully shaped.
Oh no, that's Tracy. Sorry, everyone.
Gosh,
Where's
these
Lydia?
these these people are so fit and toned, aren't they? Look, wow, it's just a work of deliciousness, isn't it?
From someone who's never designed, who says she's a knitter but doesn't design. That is quite something.
It is this. Is it
Look at
part?
that
Oh, is
shaping.
it all? Is it all knitted? Yes,
All
it's
knitted.
it's really well shaped. Look at that shaping around the side of the
Yeah.
bust and around the waist, and yeah, and she's got the sort of glam um
It's
holes. It's like a little bit sort of
the lace,
sexy, and
absolutely, which is what we
it's.
want
I just
from
thought it's
a
really,
beach garment, don't we?
yeah,
A little bit of flesh to, ooh. liven things
But
up.
looking at these little make one right,
Yeah.
uh, or however she's done that bust
It
dart there,
is
it's
absolutely exquisite, that shaping.
beautiful. The tension's all
Yeah.
gorgeous, and it's
And
really great.
I'd like to know if you go onto Instagram, they are giving all the knitters and crocheters, the contestants, they are giving more info behind it. If she's designed this from scratch, that's incredible. Or is it a pattern?
Yeah.
Because if it's a pattern, it would be nice to know if people then want to go and knit that, because it is, yeah, it is something. If people want to wear a knitted bikini,
Well,
a
this
swimsuit.
does this does remind me of the little knitting pattern I saw in a glass case in the Welsh Woolen Mill, I think it was, which was a pattern for winter, no, summer woolies, summer woolies. And I just thought, I mean, it's a lovely thing to look at, but I personally can't imagine an occasion where I'm wearing a swimsuit. Actually, now, come on, maybe I can just be a bit more upbeat about this. Actually, swimming in the lake where I live, which is a marine lake, I can see that having a knitted, but no, because you wouldn't go swimming in
No,
it. It would just be for.
this is purely to walk around looking cool, like me in my crochet top. Me in my crochet top, and maybe my jock strap. You, which Colin made. You know my floral
Go with your
crochet top.
cardigan.
Yeah, I've got a matching jock strap. But if I was on
You
the
see
beach in
that
Italy, I would walk. I would wear both of those. I wouldn't go in the sea. I would look bloody
why
hot on the beach, though.
why is Colin not on Game of
Oh
Thrones?
no!
I mean, that if I'd have seen that jock strap on this challenge, it just would have absolutely made my
Oh
week.
dear. Let's go to. I want to look at Isaac and Simon before we move on, because Isaac got a bit panned for it not being glamorous enough, but I thought that backside was really clever. Was it not, with the NRG on there?
NRG is, but I just think chunkier yarn. Yeah. I just think there's something quite rough and ready about it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
those pert little butt cheeks, they deserve a bit more refinement, I think.
And let's move on swiftly to Simon, because
You're desperately trying to reel me in.
I felt looking at and listening to the we get very little edit of
Yes.
Di and Sheila, and I
Oh,
feel for them, because,
I
as we know,
know.
they're probably talking 20 minutes for each one, and they are
I know.
literally cut down to one word answers, and this one was
We see so
I
little,
know.
don't we?
And this was a case for this, because I think Simon did this flat and had this
Yeah.
really cool idea to lace it up and have a bit of flesh showing through. I think this was genius idea for a bit of glam, a bit of, this. Well, I don't know why we're having to link this sort of skin sexual side with glamorous. The two shouldn't go, but it came across like that. And then
It's quite
Di
raunchy, isn't
said,
it?
"Oh, it's interesting," and Simon said, "Oh, something about, oh, I'm glad you like it," and she went, "No, I didn't say that. I said interesting," and it's like, but
No, but look, you can see from here, right,
go on,
the bottom of that leg
yeah,
where the bow is at the bottom. If you look on the left hand edge,
yeah,
that's not a straight
no,
edge.
no.
There, exactly. So it's wobbly. So and it's not just because there's a lace through it. So I'm wondering if it wasn't quite going to plan,
Well,
maybe.
apparently Simon calls it, which I've not heard of. So please enlighten us in the comments. This is called
Yes.
freeform crochet. Is that a posh word for making it up as you go along?
probably. But he's just done horizontal. Is it three? God, my brain's just empty. The three
Yeah,
three double crochets.
yeah,
But just going back and back and back
yeah.
and back. And it's sort of a bit wobbly along that edge, and it hasn't quite. Is there a shot of the back of these?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, no.
I mean, they're quite sort of
I like them.
what's the word?
I'd wear
They're
them.
quite strong, aren't they?
Yeah.
With with that torso
Well,
and the big
that's
massive
it.
thigh.
He got. Oh, there was a picture of the backside, but I didn't put it on. He was pulled up because there was. The fit was obviously not very good because the butt cheeks went over, and I'm like, well, perhaps he made his to measure the other Team GB, not this really, jacked Team GB with his big thighs.
What are the items that are in his tool
He
stash?
shoved some crochet hooks in there.
Oh, bless him. I think can you remember what the judges said about this?
It was so cut. It was so cut down. It was
Yeah.
literally the bit about the lace on the side there, and Di went
Yeah.
interesting, and then I think that was it. It's
Yeah.
something I know many of us want. Let's go back to our one. We want more of. I know we're not going to get it because it's only 45 minutes. I will say something though, which I
Yes.
found very frustrating. And I know we shouldn't compare to Sewing Bee, but I think the production company do need to. If there's going to be a second series of Game of Wool,
Yes.
they need to sort their full frontal shots of the finished make because
Yeah.
they were here, there, and everywhere. If you
They
look,
were a bit. I found it a bit difficult last night to properly appraise
absolutely.
each of the each of the ensembles because we didn't see
No.
this for very long in each case, did we? But
So I try to get the best front on pictures. So with this one, it was great. We had the model walking towards us, turned around and
yes,
went back, almost like they do in Sewing Bee on the made to measure. But they
yes.
then didn't do a full frontal with some of them. We just have these
No,
side
I know.
shots. Let's have a look at another one, for example. Holger's one. We didn't get any decent full frontal shot, so I could only
No,
grab this side shot and then one where it's sort of side with this top. And I think,
and I did think the way he approached that vest thing was that's quite a sort of sexy,
yeah,
raunchy, to go with those quite beautiful, as we're coming to expect from Holger, a really beautifully defined, refined, sort of detailed piece of work. And yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? And I think maybe that is just something that'll come as they realise, oh yeah, where was that shot of all of them? And um
yeah, I want the same angle every time they
yes,
critique someone. And they do that with the
yeah,
sewing bee each time. The model is slap bang on their spot, full frontal with the
yes.
camera, the
Hmm.
judge is to the side, and it cuts easily, but we keep coming back to a full frontal shot. And we just don't have that. And it
But you
clearly,
know, as well, in the bee, they are very sort of they're like a machine, and so for example, the pattern challenges. I don't know when they do this. It's probably afterwards because they just take all the garments and then but we go out of the room for breaks and things, and then lo and behold, for our pattern challenges, yes, you see us all lined up, but they will individually film
yeah,
each thing on the
yeah,
mannequin,
yeah,
so you get the full sweep. You also get a very clear shot of the whole thing rotating
yeah,
round every
yeah.
person.
And
And then there's a very clear way when they're doing the catwalk
yeah,
shots. They do a thing with a different camera, but they do this exactly the same for every
That's right.
garment, so nothing is left out.
and
So
and it's then good for us as viewers at home to then be able to see and compare, and these
yeah,
side shots, and there's clearly not much room in that cabin, the barn, sorry, the
no,
yarn barn. The more I see it, the more the weeks go by, you can see, oh, when they've got the chairs all round, and it's nowhere near as deep as perhaps that lovely mill that you have at the sewing bee, and it's just not room, and they're like, and it just, that's my little tip to the producers for next series. Get that better full on front view for same
yeah,
every shot, because as I say, we
yes.
can't enjoy them otherwise. Yeah, that's my little moan.
That, but I'm inclined to agree. This week I was left feeling a bit, I just kind of wanted to claw in and just have a really good look at the whole thing for each
Yes,
person.
yeah. Rather
So,
than dodgy
but
angles.
you've done ever so well to get
Well, that's it.
as usual, Stuart. It's really nice to see them all side by side. So
It
that's
works there,
brilliant.
but as I say, some angles are a bit more difficult because they just didn't exist. But did you have a favourite before we move on? Did you have one that you just thought, I love that?
I thought, obviously my favourites for the design, Holger and Ailsa, I just thought they were very good. Uh, good,
From a
interesting.
concept point of view, yes. Yeah.
Well, also for the color and for but I loved how Lydia's shaping, she did her shaping. I thought Tracy's um
Yeah.
pretty lacy
Yeah.
design was really good. Out of those two, I think I probably prefer Tracy's, but Dipty and Tracy with their lovely lacy two pieces were great. So yeah,
Yeah.
I thought yeah.
Brilliant. Okay.
How about you?
Oh, Lydia's for sure.
Yeah,
And then out of the Stephanie Tracy Dipty bikinis, I'm a Stephanie fan, and I thought that was brilliant. I thought compared to some of the others that were a bit more maybe potentially see through because they were granny square or granny triangle formulated, her tight crochet of just doubles and that shaping looked really good.
shame she
Dipty,
just yeah.
Dipty, I thought was great with the sparkle and the glamour. I don't know whether she was cut out a lot. I didn't seem to see her much in the edit, but I thought that would look really cool on an Italian beach walking down. I thought that was glamorous, especially perhaps at night time with some of the lights on. And she's
Yeah.
got a little glass in her hand.
I think a chiffon caftan needs to be added to some of
Oh,
these.
that would be glam, wouldn't it? Just really floaty. Yes, love it. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Okay, we go on to the big knit, the deck chair challenge.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear me, what a giggle! But it reminded me of old school summer holidays, going to Great Yarmouth
Yeah.
and being on the beach with my grandparents with the windbreaker, with your bucket and
Yeah.
spade and the deck chairs. So there was,
Yeah.
I think it was a nice concept in itself.
It's
And
quite technical, isn't it? Because
yes,
actually it's not like the other, what else have we had? Sofas and what was the one last week?
the
The group
jumpers. Yeah.
jumpers.
So we had to make a striking holiday design. Oh, have I turned the page? Oh, yes. It's called the deck chair challenge. Let's put the picture of the deck chair so you can see it. There it is. They were able to use crochet, and they called it the sling that goes on the deck chair. So this was a specific crochet only challenge, and they had to make a striking holiday design. It had to be practical because obviously someone's got to sit on it, and functional too, and securely fitted. And as Tom will assess it by sitting in it. They were given three types of yarn. So this we now know is actually really specific. So they couldn't go running into the
No.
haberdashery. They were given, and I've put you some pictures there, macrame yarn, which I've stocked in my shop before. really thick, normally 5 mil
Right,
to
yeah.
8 mil in diameter, where you'd use a 10 to 12 mil hook. They were then given also tape yarn as an option, kind of like the Jersey hooked recycled yarn, but in this is
Mm.
flat. 10 to 12 mil hook, and then they got some recycled tubular, like a chainette yarn, much thinner, 4 mil to 5 mil yarn, and I'm guessing they put that one in purposely, so if they chose it, it would create some tension with editing because it was such a fine yarn, and they would have to go
Mm.
a lot slower. Here are their concepts. They were in pairs. Holger and Isaac, Tracy and Lydia, Stephanie and Dipti, and Ailsa and Simon.
Mm.
Fabulous concepts.
I, off the bat, loved the cone of chips best.
Yeah,
I was a bit gutted that it didn't quite go to plan.
yeah.
But yeah, should we have a look at them?
Yeah, let's see how they went from the concept drawings to then the finish. There they are. Oh, it's covering us up. Let's just move that
Oh,
down.
hello,
Yeah,
where have we
there you go.
gone? Yes, so now then,
Eight
looking at them
hours.
together,
8 hours they had, Lizzie.
8 hours was it?
Yeah,
Crikey. Gosh, their fingers must be
yeah,
falling off at this stage. Now then, just looking at the suite from a design point of view, as a sort of sketch out, this is what we're going to do. I think the cone of chips, I like all of them. I think there's more to the cone of chips, those three, the
yeah,
one on the far left-hand end. I think that was probably one of the most robust sitting down
yeah,
wise, but it has less in terms of design.
yeah.
But I think the was it the cone of chips one that it didn't it stretched.
Yeah, completely stretched. They didn't have the this one and this one had
Yes.
ties, and they attached it, which was very clever thinking. Very
Yeah,
clever
that was
thinking.
good.
Made it
Yes.
way more. Spread that out. That the distribution of weight and the pressure.
Yeah. But also the one on the left had, I think they had
They
a
did.
sort of the extra hammocky bit underneath, which just
Yeah.
helped keep it
They sort of
robust.
pulled it round and down and up. So
Yes.
they really fit that functional brief there. But you're right, the chips didn't have any attachment at all there. So of course it was just going to go and sat
Oh.
on the floor.
Well, also, I just wonder if there's because one or two of them did test as they went along, but I just it's that tricky thing, isn't it? You haven't got time to practice, and something like this needs to be practiced because there's so much technically the how much is the stitch going to stretch, and also if you don't know who you're being paired with, because people knit and crochet with different tension,
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah.
So that's tricky to work out, but somehow they mostly managed it. But poor old Isaac and Holger, there was just a bit too much of a sag in that little hammock.
But the skill was great, wasn't it? They
Oh,
they they
fab,
divided it
yeah,
in half, and yes, I know we saw. Should we go to some close-ups?
yeah,
That's not her. Where's Holger? Blah, blah, blah. There. They divided it in half and knitted up in stripes. So they obviously have the
yeah,
join there, which is okay here, but it does show
yeah.
during
It's a bit
the
scruffy up
design.
through the
But
middle,
very
isn't it?
clever way of going, you do that half, I'll do
Yeah,
that half, and we'll join it together.
yeah. I just feel for them that this stretched out because if I saw that on a beach, it'd be like, where can I go and get one?
Yeah,
I love
yeah. It's that good mixture of design that just goes wow, bang, simple and effective, rather than
that.
chucking everything at it, which perhaps some of the others were, and then it becomes a bit not higgledy-piggledy, what's the where there's so much going on, your eye doesn't know where to go or to
Yeah,
rest.
there's no
The,
focal point. Yeah.
from a design point of view, that is clever, isn't it?
Whereas if we look at the cocktail glass, which I thought the cocktail could have potentially been a really striking design, but um, the proportions of it, I like the concept of a cocktail glass very much.
Yeah.
Um, it's a bit like a baobab tree, isn't it? And the stem. So, but then that must be down to not having enough time to figure out how many stitches. Sometimes you
That's it.
don't know how something's going to
Yeah.
come out till you've made it, and then you think, oh gosh, that's a bit not
It
quite right. But
does this one look better from a distance? Now you look at it. Would you go that's a glass from a distance or not?
I'm not sure I like
No.
it very much.
Oh, I know. But what about the design of the idea of the blue granny square, the sky, the yellow granny square? That was clever because there originally were three granny squares and they chopped it out, didn't they? Because it was too long and too
Yes, it's too.
saggy.
When they first said they were doing this, I just had flashbacks to the sofa, and I was thinking, oh no, not another sofa. But actually, that way of doing it, I think, is a really nice way
Yeah.
to. That's really great. Sand and sky. They even had time to make the cushion. Oh, is that what they made with the bit
I
they
know.
chopped off?
Oh, they might have
Um,
done.
so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I just think I don't know when I don't know if anyone else used to do this. When I was little, I used to love drawing um, Knickerbocker glories and
Oh, yes.
Sundays and things like
Yeah.
that. And I think if you're going to make a cocktail, make a cocktail. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just think it's just one of those things. Comes down to time, doesn't it?
I
Bless
think
them.
this
But I
would
think, yeah,
go on. I think this would be me if I was trying to design. This is something that I would end up with. I'm sure.
yeah.
It's like me just doing my best. I'll put a bit of.
Oh,
I'll
Stuart,
do a glass, and I'll chuck an umbrella in. So I felt for
yeah.
them there. Let's have a look at which this one, which is Simon and
There's a
Ailsa.
lot of Yeah,
It's,
there's a lot of detail in there, isn't
yeah,
there?
I mean, look at that seagull. I've only just spotted that. I didn't see it the first time round.
Great.
Anchor,
Yeah.
and then this lovely the what do you call them? Lifesaver
The
rings.
little life boys,
Yeah,
yeah. I would happily sit Granny down on this, and I think she'd find it delightful and a bit of a giggle.
the
Granny's deck chair.
and then let's have a look at which was our last one. The Lydia, yes, Lydia and Tracy. Which this is where you've got to think. Well, they're in a competition. They're designing something. It says striking holiday design. Well, that is in a way. It's the classic stripes.
It's the classic stripes,
And you've
yeah.
only got 8 hours, so you had
Yeah.
some good changes of stitches. You had the clusters of trebles. The judges said because we had the guest judge, which was lovely, like we do with
Yes.
Sewing Bee. She said she wasn't too sure about the placement of the flowers. What do you think from a design point of view? Those replacements.
I feel again, maybe it's a bit like the cocktail glass. If you're going to do a flower, do a flower. It's like Esme saying, if you're going to do a bow, do a bow.
Okay.
And for me, the little flowers are a little bit sort of, if they weren't there, I don't think it would be, um, how much percentage difference do they make to the whole thing. I think if there was a massive one in the top corner, that would be like, whoa, you could see that from the other side of the beach, then that would be
Yeah.
a design statement. But as little tiny things, you could almost have those as hair accessories.
Yeah.
I think for a piece of furniture, if you're going for the wow factor, then do give us a big amaryllis or something. Oh no, that's the wrong season.
Oh.
You know what I mean, anyway.
The they did rank these as we did with the jumpers. So we've got fourth place for Dipti and Stephanie. We had third place for Holger. We had
Yeah,
second place for Lydia and Tracy, and then first place for Ailsa and Simon.
Yeah.
It's a debate between these two, isn't it? Do you agree with that
Yeah.
ranking?
Mm,
Or should it have been the other way around?
yeah. I think it just, well, because it's that thing of it being fit for purpose, and the one, although the cone of chips, personally, I like the design.
Yeah,
That's a subjective thing, but the cocktail glass is a bit wobbly, but it worked as a deck chair. It actually
yeah,
functioned as a deck chair, so it holds the person up off the floor. So it's probably, they
yeah.
have to give them a score, but
It's right. I can see that.
interestingly,
It's
they gave them scores this time,
yeah.
but they haven't ranked. They haven't given us scores in the main challenge, have
No,
they? So
no. But I could understand that they got third because of the design, not the functionality, and they got
yeah,
their design isn't as good, but their functionality was better. But I think we've
yeah,
always said this with sewing bee. Is there perhaps there's more weighting on the design because it's creativity, it's skill in coming up with a concept. So I think
yes,
I can understand that. But what that did mean is we probably had an inkling at who was going to go home. But before we decide and talk over that, let's award our big knitter of the week. It went to,
yay! Well done, Lydia.
yeah, didn't it? And absolutely so. I couldn't see anywhere else. Where would you give the big knitter to? Maybe Holger with the design of the chips and the design of his swim trunks, maybe. But I think her shaping and all those different knit stitches
Yeah, I think
trumped
that was
everything.
very, very good. Yeah.
And then to be cast off, I'm in mourning
Oh,
already.
Stephanie. Well done, Stephanie. It's a hard one. It probably could have gone in a few different directions this week, couldn't it? And poor
I
old
think so.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
somehow, I don't know. It felt to me like it was one of those weeks where it wasn't quite so clear cut, really, but somebody has to go, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah, there could have been several people, well, because of that. I didn't necessarily think her bikini sort of outfit was the worst, but they're closer, aren't they? They can see the imperfections that perhaps we can't, and then they're looking at
Yeah.
the deck chair seat and thinking,
I think of all the bikinis, I think Stephanie's bottom half really, really didn't fit. So that may be why.
yeah,
Maybe it comes down to very small things. And actually, if you look at all of them fitting wise around the bikini bums, there were a few precarious moments.
so let us
Oh,
know what you thought. Next week is called Playtime. So that's going to be I'm sure
fine
a
goggles.
giggle, an absolute giggle.
And what will Tom wear next
That's
week?
right.
We haven't even talked about Tom's outfit. Next time we'll have to come back to that.
Cheers.
Tom's wardrobe.
Absolutely. Cheers, Lizzie. See you later. Bye.
Lots of
Bye.
love.